What's up, you guys? It's Erin. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are reviewing a very hyped up foundation, the new KOSAS REVEALER Foundation. So this is one of the foundations that just came out. It seems like a lot of foundations are releasing recently. This is one that I was planning on getting a sample of because I was really excited about, and KOSAS actually sent it to me. So I have been testing this out all week because I wanted to do more than a first impressions with you guys. I wanted to have thoughts of my own before I try it on camera. I'm gonna apply it with you guys, but yeah, I already really have my thoughts together on it, and we're gonna get into that. Before we get into the video, make sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that little post notification bell if you like relatable beauty content videos. If you're new here, my name is Erin. I'm a nurse. I live in the Midwest and I love everything makeup, skincare, beauty related. It's really my passion. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure to subscribe for more videos. So yeah, let's just get into the foundation review. If you watched my Save That Cash or Pass video that I posted about 2 weeks back, I talked about all the new foundations I was excited about, like the Charlotte Tilbury one, the NARS one, and this one. I am someone where if I was spending my own money, I would get a sample of each one to try out before I buy a full size. I was really fortunate that KOSAS sent this to me so I can test out the full experience for you guys. If it were me and I was buying a new high-end foundation, I would get a sample before spending, how much is this foundation? $42 for 1 fluid ounce, I believe. Yes, 1 ounce. I'm personally lucky that a lot of brands send me products to review so I can help give my honest opinions and help you guys make the best decision you can on how to spend your money. But anyways, let's just get into a little bit about this foundation. What really attracted me was that it's a medium, like a light medium buildable coverage. It's a natural finish. It's SPF 25, I believe. And it says it's a clean, skin improving, medium coverage SPF 25 foundation and treatment with hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, peptide, squalane, vitamin B5, arnica, and caffeine. So basically this is supposed to be a foundation that also has skincare benefits to it. And I really love the KOSAS Revealer Concealer. I wasn't as huge of a fan of the foundation, like their oil foundation that they've had out for a long time. This says that you can apply it however you want, basically with fingers, brush, or a sponge. I want to really prime my face before we get into the application. So I'm going to go ahead with one of my tried and true primers, the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. My face is feeling a little dry, so I'm going to take a decent amount of that and just make sure my face is nice and hydrated. Obviously, any foundation is going to apply better with a hydrated, prepped base, whether that be from moisturizer or primer. It's been a little bit since I did my skincare, so I just want to make sure my skin's prepped. If you're new to my videos, I really have mostly dry skin. I struggle with texture and like flakiness in areas. I also struggle with acne, but my foundation can look kind of oily in my forehead and nose area at the same time. I already did my brows. I'm going to avoid my brows. So that's just my personal skin type. I also prefer foundations that are more medium natural coverage or more on the glowy side. I don't really, unless it's like an event, I don't use really full coverage matte foundations. I like something right middle of the road that looks very skin-like. For even a little bit more glow and hydration, I'm going to use a little bit of the Hollywood Flawless Filter just on the high points of my face. This is the shade 2. I'm just going to rub that in with my fingers. My forehead, especially like on the outsides, if that makes sense, can feel especially dry, so I'm just going to make sure to really hydrate that area. Okay, we have a nice hydrated base. I'm not sure like if I have a hive on my forehead or what's going on there, but so you can see my skin is not perfect. I struggle with breakouts on my chin because of wearing masks. I have a mole up here, some sort of hive. So we have things to cover. This says it's a light to medium coverage foundation. You can build it up. Okay, so let's get into the application. My preferred way to apply foundation is with a brush. I like to put a pump on my hand. The bottle is really nice. It's a heavy glass. I like the top. It's nice and secure. The pump pumps out a nice amount of product. I also should mention that this is a good shade match for me. It's the shade Light Cool 150. It's light with cool pink undertones. I know there was a lot of complaints that KOSAS tends to run on the yellow side, so I have neutral to cool undertones and like a light. Usually I fit in like the light skin tone range, and so I made sure to go with the cool option, and it seems like it's a good shade match for me. I think if you are on the verge, definitely go cooler, because things do tend to run a little bit yellow, but I didn't really have a problem with that. This is a good match for me. So I'm going to take a little bit on my brush and just really work that foundation into my brush. I'm going to go ahead and blend that in. If anything, this is maybe a little bit light for me, like when I have a tan. It might be a little bit light in the summertime. I could maybe go like light medium with cool undertones, if that makes sense, in the summer. I'm going to apply this to half my face because I'm going to actually film a reel applying it to the other half of my face. I will say, as I apply this, there are a few things I noticed. First thing being the smell. It smells terrible. I thought it was like my brush, that it needed to be washed the first time I applied this. It smells like kind of just chemically, but almost like a little, like they should have almost scented this a little bit to cover whatever the natural smell of this is. It just smells bad, to be honest. It doesn't linger around. I don't notice it after I apply the foundation, but while I'm applying the foundation, I do smell it. I once saw someone post that their revealer concealer like went bad and smelled almost blue cheesy, which is disgusting, but I could almost see that for this. It's not quite that bad, but yeah, so definitely be aware of that. But beyond that, first impressions applying this, it blends really, really easily. I have no issues applying it. When it's first applied, I really, really like how it wears. You can see I've barely had to work, and it really just evened out my skin tone. I do have some blemishes on my nose, like at the very tip here, that are kind of showing through. It's definitely a true light to medium coverage, but it really does a nice job of evening everything out and looking like a very satin finish. It's not super glowy. It's not super matte either, which I really, really like. Okay, so I've applied the foundation to my entire face, and I've zoomed in so you can see it was really more closer to 2 pumps by the time I did my entire face. As you can see, some imperfections are poking through, which is fine. I don't mind that. I like my foundation to look really skin-like. I think it looks really nice. It's a nice, like I said, natural satin finish. I really enjoy this when it's first applied and what it looks like. This is what it looks like with no other makeup on. Before I finish my makeup, I want to give you some thoughts that I've had as I've worn this past couple days, because I've worn it not just at home, I've worn it out, I've worn it all day. I've worn it with different primers, with different powders, and my overall thoughts are that I really like this when it's first applied. It looks really beautiful and skin-like and medium coverage. Everything I like in a foundation. Things I've noticed as I've worn it throughout the day is that it does tend to sink into lines a little bit. I've noticed that it can sink into my smile lines, which it's not something I really noticed, that my smile lines aren't that pronounced. I'm 30 years old. It's not really something I struggle with yet in my life, and I notice it's like kind of collecting there a little bit, which is weird for me. I also have like one wrinkle on my forehead that it was kind of collecting in, which it's not a super deep wrinkle. It's not something that always happens. And I also noticed that as I wear it, it really, really collects really badly in my nose and looks cakey there. I've worn it without powder and with powder, and I feel like if I don't wear powder, it gets a little bit shiny in my nose and in my forehead, like the center of my forehead, T-zone area, which is typical for me with foundations. I don't mind that at all. I think if you don't set this, this is something that will not be super long wearing because it is such like a natural finish. But if you do, you have to be careful because it can look cakey. While I like this foundation and I'm enjoying it, I don't know if this is something that if I wanted my foundation to look nice for hours and hours, that I needed it to last all day. I don't think this is something that I would reach for. I just think it's a little bit finicky. It can look a little bit oily, a little bit cakey. Overall, I like it when it's first applied, but there are just caveats you need to know if you really want it to last, you know what I mean? I'm going to finish my makeup and then we'll continue this chat. Okay, I finished my makeup. If you're curious what I put on the rest of my face, I use the Charlotte Tilbury contour wand. I use the Revealer concealer because I do feel like it's important to see if these work well together, and they really do. I already love this concealer, so I wanted to use that. On my eyes, I have the Persona Cosmetics Identity Palette, one of my favorite nude palettes. I'm wearing the Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara, a little bit of Hoola Bronzer because I'm trying to use this up. The Persona Cosmetics Super Blush in Caramel. Let me see if I can open this. A gorgeous, like, glowy mauve blush. The Nabla highlight, the Skin Glazing highlight in the shade Ozone. What else am I wearing? And then on my lips, I'm wearing the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Medium lip liner with the Kaja Gloss Shot in the shade Pink Drink. One more close-up of what it all looks like together. I forgot to bring it over here, but I did use the KOSAS Cloud Set Powder because that's another base product from them I really love, and it does work well with this foundation. I think my foundation looked the best the day I used that powder, so I wanted to use that because it really just smooths pores and it doesn't mattify. It just sets everything down without taking away the glow and helps everything from getting too like greasy looking throughout the day. So overall, my thoughts, I think this foundation looks really nice, especially right when it's applied. It looks really nice, but there are just a few quirks about it you have to be aware of. It smells terrible. If you are sensitive to smells, I would not recommend this foundation. Just plain and simple, it just doesn't smell good. I'm not sure why that is, but yeah, I really don't enjoy the smell, but it doesn't last. I don't smell it after I apply it. It's just when I'm applying it, it just has a funky type of smell. I think it's a nice natural satin finish, and it looks really skin-like and beautiful when you apply it on your skin. You're not going to get full coverage out of this. I think it's a solid medium coverage, and it looks really nice. The shade 150 Cool Light is a really good shade for me, and I really do enjoy it with the, I think it looks best with the Revealer Concealer and the Cloud Set Powder since I have both of those. I think they'll work really well, as they should with other KOSAS products. But things to be aware of, this to me is not a super long-lasting foundation. I just find that it can collect in my nose really poorly, and in the like wrinkles that I do have, like on my forehead and my smile lines, it just tends to collect there, and I just have to touch it up throughout the day. I don't think this is a foundation that you could wear in the morning and plan for it to look good all day, at least not on my dry combo skin. It just doesn't last really well. I think if I was just going to dinner or going out for the afternoon or filming, I think this is a gorgeous foundation, and it does have a little bit of SPF, which I do enjoy. I just think that there are some things about this that I think could be better. I think the wear could be better. I think it can look a little bit makeup-y if you're not careful, and if you apply too much powder or too much foundation, it can just collect in certain areas of the skin. Overall, like out of 5, I think I'd give it like a 3.5 out of 5. I enjoy it, but it's not my top foundation. I like it a heck of a lot better than their tinted face oil, but I just think that I have other foundations in my collection that wear better. I like my Too Faced Born This Way foundation better. I like the Bobbi Brown Skin Longwear Weightless foundation better. The Clinique foundation, the Perfecting foundation. Those formulas also look really nice, but they just wear better throughout the day than this does. So yeah. But that's it for my review of the new KOSAS Revealer Foundation. I'd be happy to answer any questions that I didn't cover down below in the comments. If there's anything else that you want to know about this, or if there's anything I forgot, please let me know. Are you guys planning on picking this up? Is this something that you're interested in? Let me know down below in the comments. And as always, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and we will see you in my next one. Bye.